Hello and welcome to Taekwondo Training. I'll be your instructor for today's show, Bob Lemire. What we're going to do on today's show is very easy exercises, and I'm going to call it isometric exercises for Taekwondo. People who are maybe handicapped or older generation or someone who has a hard time moving around, this is a way you can work your muscles and get some technique at the same time. Cardiovascular, it's not going to be a cardiovascular type of thing because we're going to be working very slowly with our muscles and trying to get our muscles working in the technique at the same time. Recently, I had a hernia operation about 3 weeks ago. Doctor says, I don't want to do anything for 6 weeks. Here I am in week 3. So I'm going to go really slow and try not to hurt myself. But what we're going to do is, when I say isometric, it's muscle tension, all right? And what I'm going to do is put Taekwondo moves with the muscle tension. Now, you can do this muscle tension just standing there like this and tensing every muscle on your body. You're getting a little workout when you do that, all right? You can tense just one part of your body. You can tense just your arm if you want, all right? Let it go. Tense it for 10 seconds. Let it go. And, I mean, You do exercises like this, and as I say, right and left, do 10 each side on all your exercises, making sure you get your yin and your yang, your whole body nice and together. You want to keep everything together, not just one side that's strong. Okay, uniform is the word I was looking for. What we're going to do is we're going to start off very basic, okay, and I'm going to explain. It's going to be a lot of technique I want to give you today, and you're going to learn. If you're brand new, you're going to say, wow, this is how the punch is done. This is how the knife hand is done. And in the meantime, as you're doing it slow. If you're in a wheelchair or you can't get up, you can do this sitting down, all right? If you're in your house watching, your favorite TV every night, do these exercises sitting down or even stand up and do them nice and easy, all right? You're going to see what I'm talking about. I've done this a couple times over the years. And I like to bring it back once a year, once every couple of years, for people who've never seen it. All right, let's start a horse riding stance, and I'm going to explain everything. Horse riding stance, this stance right here is always so that you can practice some moves. You don't really fight in a horse riding stance. And when I say a horse riding stance, you bend your knees, you try to keep nice and relaxed, shoulder width apart. All right, little shoulder width apart, bend your knees, and it's just to get some technique down, but be balanced and get some balance. You wouldn't fight like this because you're off balance. You always want to fight in a fighting stance. And you could do this in a fighting stance. Anything I'm doing in a horse riding stance, you can do in a fighting stance. Let's start off with a basic punch. All right, always start off with something nice and basic, especially for new students. And the way we punch, all right, notice this hand's way up here, all right, nice and tight. Closed fist, thumb, not up, not inside, right here. All right, you're hitting with your two front your ring finger. Your middle finger and your index finger. Those knuckles is what you're going to aim for and to hit. All right, nice and relaxed. Now you stretched before. Say you stretch for about 10, 15 minutes. Try to loosen your body up, warm up a little. From here, all right. We're just going to throw that punch. Now, as we throw the punch, all right, as we throw the punch, we twist at the last second. And we would be using a hip jog. We would be using a hip jog, but we're doing everything slow, and we're going to do muscle tension. Now, from here, if I want, there's two ways to do this. I could just tense my arms. All right, maybe my shoulders and my arms, and leave the rest of my body untensed, all right, or constricted with the muscles. And I'm going to try that first. Just my arms and my shoulders. And see how I try to be uniform? I try to be uniform where this hand stops and this hand is out at the same time. All right? Now, really tense your arms and your shoulders. Tense them as high as you can. You're not going to overdo it. Don't worry. Tense them hard, all right? Almost like as a resistance. Want to do a set of 10, all right? And then relax. You can do the set. Now, as I say, you can localize the muscle, or as I'm doing this, all right, I can tense my whole body, all right? My stomach muscles, my legs, all my legs. Just tense every muscle in your body. Think about it, all right? And just tense. See, there's no cardiovascular here, but this is a workout. This is a workout. You do sets of 10 on everything I'm showing you. And you do it, say, 15, 20 minutes a day. Or every other day, or once, twice a week. It's always good to work maybe every other day, and in between those days do something different. You always want to give your muscles 48 hours to recuperate. If not, you can overwork your muscles day after day after day, and you're going to fall backwards. It's been done. We've all done it. I know I've done it. You've got to let the muscles regroup and regenerate, and then 48 hours, which would be 2 days, do it again. Try to get all the muscles, all right? And if you're doing 15 minutes of this, all right, and everything else I'm going to show you a day, you watch the next day, especially if you haven't been working out. Watch how sore you are the next day. And I mean, you're going to be sore. You're going to say, wow, it's like lifting weights, all right? It's resistance training, just you're doing your own resistance, all right? You can do, see this right here? I can press hard and press hard. That's resistance training. And I can press hard and pull in. That's resistance. And I can actually, almost like I'm doing a curl, all right? With your own body. You don't need all expensive gear and weights and stuff. It's good, especially if you're training for tournaments. But if you're at home or you want to just keep getting a good workout, you can do it anywhere, all right? Sitting there, especially sitting down watching TV, do a couple of moves, even if you're sitting down. All right, so that was the punch. Knife hand, close those fingers together. Take that thumb, press it against, say, your index finger part, around that part. All right? Bend your middle finger and the other fingers will follow suit just a little. Not like this and not straight. All right? But nice bend. That'll tighten up this muscle here. Now, put it on top of it. Take the other hand, put it out on top. Now, okay, look at it. I'm tensing every muscle in my body. You want to just tense your arms and your shoulders? Just do that. Very slow. Now you're getting the technique. See, and when I do this, my Grandmaster Lee used to always tell us, put your hand up. He says so that if you don't put your hand up, you'll drop down here and then you're coming up here. We're not going for the hips. Some schools, styles, even Taekwondo, they want to go from the hips, saying, that's where their power is, chi, whatever they want to call it. We don't do that. We go for the straight line. See the straight line here? And with the hip jog. Now, you can actually now don't straighten that arm right out. You want to get the perfect technique. Now, notice how I'm coming back in with this hand, and I'm trying to get both of them at the same time. So I could do 1, 2 if I want. You see what I'm saying? 1, 2. Or I could go boom, together, boom, together. So, and do both sides. Always right and left. Tight, and tighten the arms. Tighten the arms. Tighten your shoulders. All right? Then relax. Then do it again. All right? And this is what we call a knife hand. Mainly, knife hand is strong. Okay? When I say strong, it's good for breaking boards. Especially, you want to hit here. All right? You want to hit in this meaty part. It's going to be hard because you're making that. You're tightening those muscles this way. It's good for breaking boards. All right? And good for technique, strong technique. All right? Do both sides. All right? And kind of look here. Kind of look where you're hitting. You should always look where you're hitting, especially if you're going to break a board. It would be like playing baseball and not watching the pitcher, or swinging a golf club, not looking at the ball. You're going to miss your target. Eye and hand coordination. That's how we work. pretty easy, basic techniques. And you can do them with all your hand technique that we learned. All right? We did a punch. We did a knife hand. Let's just do something. This time we'll go from a fighting stance. We'll do a high section block. Right? And so this way, if you watch, back fist to back fist, nice fist, high section block, and then up. All right? Notice where my hand is. It's not over here. It's not over here. It's right here. Right? So I'm not wasting any. They're not going to hit me that way, and it's not wasted over here. It's right here. So up. Now I'm ready for I've got the block, all right? I've got the block. Now I'm ready for a punch if I wanted to do. So you can do combinations, all right? And as you do it, tighten. And tighten as hard as you can, all right? Tighten as hard as you can. Then as hard as you can. You're going to feel that, and it's a great workout. People don't realize that. You could be in the supermarket if you want and be standing like this waiting and doing exercises. Look at this. Right now I'm pressing apart, working my whole body. And I'm just waiting. Or you're at a meeting or whatever, and you just want to do some, look at I'm like this, and I'm pressing in. You're going to feel your chest muscles. You're going to see everything. Then if you want, tense your whole body. Well, when we do this, when we try to tense our whole body by thinking about it, there's eye-hand coordination, eye-foot coordination. You're in charge up here. All right? This is the central part of our computer. You're in charge of making the decision on tensing every muscle. And when you do that, you're training your body on the muscles to use. All right? You're training them, and you're not even working hard. You're not going to probably break a sweat doing this, and it's not, as I said, there's no cardio. So you're not breathing heavy. But you can do it anywhere, all right? In your living room as you're watching me. All right, so that was just high section block, all right? And from a fighting stance. And a fighting stance, again, is just like you're walking, all right? You're walking, you're in a fighting stance most of the day if you're like this, all right? Shoulder width apart. Right, just a relaxed stance. This is how you can fight. Nice and relaxed. Look at you do this all day. So you're actually practicing your fighting stance all day every time you take a step. All right. So you have all your blocks. You can do it with your low section block. As I'm doing this, I'm tensing my stomach, pushing it in. Right, tense it in. Tense every part of your body. Again, you don't have to. You can just tense. If I just want to tense my arm only, I'm just tensing. So I have control of everything I want to really push hard on, or I can centralize it, all right? And it's up to you. It's up to you. After you do this for a couple of minutes, 15 minutes, next day you're going to go, wow, that works, because I'm sore. If you're sore after a day of working out, something happened. You worked the muscles. All right. Now, this kind of exercise is great for rehab. All right. Like, as I say, they don't want me to do things for six weeks and then take it kind of easy. I have too much energy. All right. So I'm really watching my stomach. All right, with the hernia, because they put a mesh in and it's quite painful. The one I had, just coughing and sneezing. So I'm really worried to re-injure it if it's not healed. So I'm going to go real easy for a couple of weeks. I can still work out. I can still lift weights if I want. All right, you got to watch out. You can't pick up heavy weights, but you can pick up or sit down and do side weights, or you can do stretching on pulley systems or bands. You can always work out. If you want to work out, you're going to work out. But this is something I always like, and you're getting, and I even do full forms. If you know forms, all right, take Giljan. You do the whole form, slow motion and tense up. By the time you're done with that form, you're kind of tired and you're sore. I've done the form before, and I want to do it because it's going to take too long for this. I want to show you more things. So, upset. All right, well, let's do an upset. Now, when we're doing this, when I do a punch this way, I'm using certain muscles and I'm really tensing them. And when I do a punch this way, I'm using other muscles that I'm really tensing, and I'm getting the technique. So an upset, a short upset midsection, it's not an uppercut. That's a whole other world. It starts this way, hands down. A regular punch, hands up. It starts this way, hands down. And then you twist here. You're hitting to the solar plex, all right? See, I'm in a fighting stance. All right? You can be in a right fighting stance or a left fighting stance. Makes no difference. And you press. Tighten every muscle up you have in your body. And then hold it if you want. Right? If you hold, you don't want to extend, but you want to hold it. Tighten. Hold it as long as you want. Then relax. Sets of 10. Do the other side. All right? Here. Then if you want to add here. I say try it with just your arms, and then try it as I'm doing this. I'm tightening up my calves, tightening up my thighs, my inner thighs. I'm just thinking of everything I want to tighten up. Beautiful, beautiful exercise. I always like this. I started doing isometric. I read a book, and they were talking about isometric, and no one ever heard of it. Even today, it's not well known, right? And you could put your hand on a wall. You could do it on yourself. Hold your leg right here. Push hard, pull apart. Anything you want to do, make it up in your head. It's part of the exercise. You do a whole body workout in a matter of 15 minutes, and as hard as you push or pull, all right, or tense, that's you're going to get. That's the degree of workout you're going to get. Excuse me. So any exercise. So when I did the punch, I could have done a spare finger. I could have knife hand this way. I could have done a knife hand this way. Right? Knife hand this way. All right. Any exercises that you want to do. If you're just starting out, try just a punch. Try just a knife hand. Try the upset. All right. Don't go crazy. All right. And as you watch some of my old shows, which are on YouTube and on DATV, many shows. If you like some technique, throw it in there. Any technique we do. If you have to hold a chair for balance, because we're going to do a kick here and there. I'm going to just go very lightly with the kicks, just so I'm not really pressing on the stomach. All right. But I want to show you it's the same thing. All right. So front snap kick. You're in a left fighting stance. All right. What you're going to do is pick up your leg and tighten. If you could have a chair, it's probably better. All right. I don't want to lose my own balance either. All right? And then as you're throwing your kick out, all right, tense, then back, tense, and back. All right? My balance is off because I'm really nervous of popping this thing out. Anyone who's had a hernia, and this is an umbilical hernia, you know that they put a mesh in. The doctor's, he's got his fingers in my face saying, I know you're going to keep going. No, I won't, and here I am. So you listen to your doctor, don't listen to me. But I'm really going to try to be, anything up here is easy. It's once you start straining with your kicks, now you don't know, all right? It's almost like picking up some heavy weights. They don't want you to pick more than 10 pounds up. But you can do a workout with this isometric. Again, you can go up against a wall. Do a whole, people doing planks. People know who a planks are. Years and years ago, never heard of a plank. You do push-ups and that's it. Now there's planks. That's isometric. That's what we're doing here. You're pressing and you're letting that muscle get tight as it can be. And the muscle's working. You're burning calories too, even though you don't think you're burning calories. Any movement you make with your body, you burn calories. And this, you're learning the technique. You're burning calories, okay? You're building muscle. You will build muscle doing this, all right? It's just the degree that you want to press, all right? I'd say start off a little slower. You don't want to be sore the next day. I hate to see people start their workouts. The next day they wake up and they can't move. I'm done. I'm not doing that again. That hurts you. Well, working out does hurt you, especially if you want to advance. But start a little slower, and as you start feeling comfortable, all right? Elbow, all right? going to use probably different muscles. Look at, notice I'm keeping my hand out here, so because if we were doing an elbow, I would get that hip jog. I would get that hip jog. Right? Now slower. Now the slower you go, and the more tense, that's more of the workout you're going to get. If you went slow like this, and tense, that's one thing. But if you go really slow and think about it, get that mind and then working with the body, all right? And then twist that elbow in. Elbows, hands up, right? Hands up, hands down. You're hitting to the solar plex, you're hitting to the jaw, you're hitting to anywhere in the face. Elbows are strong, all right? A lot of people, they'll hit with the whole part of their forearm here. If you hit with this bony part to a person, you're going to cause damage. This is tough. Problem is with this bony part, and you use elbows. I chipped elbows over the years breaking boards. All right, and, a couple of boards wouldn't be bad, but you always go for more boards. And I hit it so hard that I chipped the bone in my elbow. Now you got to watch it when you do stuff like that, because there's a burster sac, and all of a sudden you get this big bubble that hangs, and they got to drain that out. So, excuse me. Breaking boards, you got to use certain parts of your body, because they're fun to do, but you got to use certain parts of your body that won't get that affected. And that's one of them. Women with their hands, I don't mean to say it the way I said it, but you have to break 5 boards with your hands. If your wrist on up to it, I've seen many wrists break. I just don't like to see young women, young girls, or whatever, even young boys. If you're not muscular and have good, strong wrist, and you make one wrong move, that wrist is going to break. So a knife hand's kind of good, all right? Not too many boards. Front snap kicks are good. Side thrust with your knife edge, all right? Reverse round kicks or heel kicks. Those are nice. There's a lot of soft tissue, all right, that'll save the bone. The bone don't want to go bone on wood, all right? A lot of people watching me who are into the martial arts going, oh, he's not going to toughen. That's not how you toughen yourself up. Unless you're a black belt, whether you're man or woman, all right? Unless you're a black belt, I would advise to any instructor, pay attention to what they're going to break, even though they're going for the test, all right? They broke the board, but they're out for 6 weeks with a broken elbow or a broken wrist. Now they can't train. Now you probably never see you again, all right? Or you'll probably quit. So always think of the next day, and if you are working out with an injury, go very easy. There's different ways to work out, different aspects of working out where you don't have to work with that injury. And let the injury heal. Let it heal, all right? Look who's talking, but as you notice, I'm not working out hard, all right? Even though I'm doing this, there's no pressure here, all right? I'm doing this, all right? Look at knife hand. And I'm tensing I can feel this. You say, well, you're going to get used to it. You won't get used to it because the stronger you get, the more power you're going to put into it. The more tense you're going to be putting on those muscles, all right? So the stronger you get, the stronger you're going to try to do it. You'll always keep working out, and you probably keep building, all right? You're not going to get these big bodybuilding muscles doing this. You are going to tone, all right? You are going to tone. Same thing with your stomach. Sitting in your car. You're driving. Pull your stomach in. Tighten that thing up. All right? Want to push it out a little? Do that. I don't advise pushing your stomach out because you don't get a hernia. Push it in. Tighten your stomach. See, if I pull mine in now and I tighten it, it's not going to hurt me. All right? Tighten it. Let it go. Do it again. You're going to get those muscles contracting. They're going to contract. And that's what gets you in shape, all right? And that's what works the muscle. So you want to contract these muscles, all your kicks, any kind of exercise that you can do. Even if you don't want to do Taekwondo, all right? Just, say you weren't even doing any technique. You just press your arms, anything. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Tighten your whole body. Stand there and just tighten every muscle. Don't even move. Tighten every muscle in your body. From your neck all the way down. You do that, you're going to feel it the next day. You feel it the next day, as I always say, you've done some work. All right? My grandmaster would say after a workout the next day, how do you feel after yesterday's hard workout? I think once I said, oh, I'm fine. I have no problem. I said, I feel great. Oh, then my workouts are too easy, he says. After that, he made sure I was like, but I already had my black belt, so he knew what he could get away with, but boy, I never said I wasn't feeling. I used to say, oh, I'm sore. That was a great workout. So if you're sore, you've got a good workout. It's about all the time. Half hour flies like that. It's about all the time I have this week. I hope you enjoyed it. You can catch us on YouTube, TrakeItTV.org. It's on that station also, Comcast. Taekwondo, Grandmaster Bob Lemire, Taekwondo training on YouTube. And you'll see all the shows that I've had previously done in the last 1 or 2 years here. And you can get workouts. You can watch them over and over and over again. And I try to change things up, get some special guests here and there, just to make things pleasant and we can learn more of Taekwondo. I hope you enjoyed this show. I've enjoyed doing it. Till next time, have fun and train hard.